Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome. I think I did this all right. I think everything's set up. It's been a long time. It's been many weeks. How is everyone? Hey, Keith. Hey, Lord Getface. Hey, Raj. Hey, Dave. Hey, Tuxedo. Hey, Philip and Nadir. Hey, Kobe. Hey, Aetherline. Tuxedo. Neil and Jeff. Hey, Rod. Hey, Dale and Thomas. How is everyone? Okay, members only stream. So I was looking for something. I'm glad to be able to get an April stream in. Hopefully, if I can get things ready, I want to start an RC build for May. So that'll probably be the Casadio 22B. So we'll see how that goes. But hey, Ricky. Hey, Stuart. I have been cleaning up after my return from Rocky Mountain. John, welcome. Hey, Collie. I took both of these printers. They have not found their final spots yet. They're just sitting here after being unpacked. But the, yeah. Seemed sore-throated on Rocky. Well, they're always events will really get to the vocal cords. And I had throat lozenges the whole time too. I was told I was starting to talk very loud to compensate for it. It's okay. Oh boy. So today, the plan is to try to troubleshoot a little print artifact I'm getting on the Core 1 here. This is the one that started out as a Mark 3S and was upgraded through the stages all the way to a Core 1. Not yet to a Core 1 Plus, but that's okay because this is probably, and the intent is this will be the one that gets the index, the Founders Edition index set up when it gets here. So I want to make sure it's printing well before that stuff gets here, which should be pretty soon. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know dates. I don't know any better than anybody that's following the Bondtech Discord, but I've been told through there that it's pretty soon. Hey Troy, hey Steve. So work on this a little bit. Hey Bill, work on this a little bit, and then I want to maybe intermingled with that or whatever. I want to bring up, and let me get this kind of started. I want to bring up probably a Google Sheet and kind of outline projects, what we have coming up, what you guys want, what parts I have available for projects, and we might not get a real good picture, but it might help to get some stuff down. And this guy is being persistent. Pretty soon, actual Sinvoron soon. Yes. I watched a couple of the videos from Rocky Mountain. Yeah, I had a good time. I did an interview on Trident R2 with Alex, Projects in Dad's Garage, Taylor, Canuck Creator, and Grant, 3D Musketeer. And those were all, I was feeling when I was doing them, I was feeling a little awkward for Alex and Taylor's, but they seem to have turned out okay. Hey, Sean and Laura. She's currently dealing with a persistent orange one as well. Yes. Yes. Were 1.5 millimeters belts considered for R2? No. I mean, that's something that's easily done in the mod community. They're not easy enough to source yet. I mean, sometimes we lead that, but yes, there was a noise out there. And that's not to say, so the intent with the Trident R2, and we can talk about it a little bit, but tomorrow's stream is really going to be a public Rocky Mountain recap and an unboxing of the next build. the Vertigo printer parts. But we'll go into a lot of detail on Rocky Mountain and what I saw, and probably I'm expecting a lot of questions and talk on the Trident R2 and INDX, especially on this guy here. So we will be going over a lot of that, and that doesn't mean I can't answer questions here. You folks will just have to put up with getting redundant information for today and tomorrow. So why is the index mount for the Core 1 so bulky? What do you mean, John? What do you consider bulky? The index mount for the Core 1 so bulky. Are you talking about the dock mount? The apparently sheet metal piece that goes across here? Probably might. I don't know if it replaces this or not. I can imagine tomorrow there will be lots of questions. Oh yeah. So it's very thin. I mean, it's sheet metal thin because they wanted to maximize Y travel, which from what I'm seeing, my Trident implementation loses less on Y than Prusa loses on the Core 1. But because of that, they wanted to tie all of this together, I'm sure. I'm guessing. I don't know the answer, but I'm guessing that they wanted to tie all this together. Now, if you've seen pictures, the actual production one, post Founders Edition, has a big window here to make visibility even that much better. Have you seen the latest one though, John? Let me see. Might be on. It might be on, dude. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Continue to shop. MMU 3 and upgrades. And index. We go through here. Let me see if they have. This thing I'm looking forward to. This is a eddy or inductive sensor, eddy current sensor based nozzle offset. Which the person, I don't remember their name, Vladimir something, who did Eddy NG, the tap contact setup for general eddy current probes, was working on just this. There is a project out there on this that they didn't continue to develop, but this is really exciting and very possible to do in the DIY community. Here we go. This is a decent picture, but you've probably seen the one with all the crossbars up here, and I think that's what you're thinking, John. This has all been opened up. So yeah, the one I'm going to get will have the crosses, but it'll say Founders Edition on it, so maybe that makes up for it. We're told we'll be able to buy this one later. We'll see. We'll see if it bugs me enough to bother with that. Yeah, I don't see anything really else here. There was some FAQ on some stuff, but anyway. Okay, what I did want to do is I wanted to bring up, you are just going to be a real pain, aren't you? Okay. Typing over an orange cat is nearly impossible. Let's bring up a Google Sheet. That is a problem, John. You're absolutely right. So I wouldn't say Founders Edition is alpha parts. I had alpha parts in the early stuff that I had for the Trident, that I was installing on the Trident. This is very minor differences. They say that you'll be able to replace anything that might be different. You make your index Trident with CPAP. Is there a noticeable difference in cooling versus... I have all the ducts, Sean, for the 4010 fan. I have the parts to put them on. I plan on doing that, but I haven't yet. What else? Neil, I took the Phoenix. I took the Stealth Changer and the Index printers. I took a V0. I took the Legacy switchwire. And I took Morden's Atomic Vector Plotter's Trident R2. And I took the Cascade. So 8 devices. Oh, and the Mad Max. There we go. And the Mad Max printer. So 9. I took 9. 9. Okay, we're going to do a blank. We're going to do a blank work page here. And I think that'll be safe. Okay. So just somewhere where we can type some things. But we're not going to, we need to work on this printer, but this is also just something to have so I can take some notes. I was going to do it on my Remarkable, but I think it's easier to just do a Google Sheet and type it. You can understand, you can read my typing way better than you can read my handwriting. Did they all come back in one piece? Yes. With the question of, there are a few mystery fasteners that I found in the bottom of the U-Haul trailer, on the floor of the U-Haul trailer. Yes, exactly what Bill said. I'm not sure where some of those fasteners came from. There's also like an M5 or M3 by 20, it looks like, on the deck of the Phoenix, that I'm not sure where it came from. They were spares, yeah. You're right, probably were spares. Okay, I'm gonna be a little scattered today because I'm not used to this. It's been too long. Nice transport system for the Phoenix. Oh, I love it. It makes it so easy. I can solo load and unload the Phoenix now. Road was a little rough. Okay, let's go here. Let's talk about the Core 1. Let's be a little scatterbrained. Let's get back to this. Hey, Poity. The issue I'm running into, and this here, is the modified bed mount on Trident R2 to position the bed in the right spot for Index. It's also much taller here because the Index tool head is mounted higher up. The nozzle point is about 10 millimeters higher than a spec build. Wheels, tongue, and just pull the Phoenix out of the trailer. That would be awful. Maurice. Oh, I missed another one of those. Thank you for being a member. I missed one of those, I remember. Datmamut, thank you for being a member. Okay, so this piece here is a Trident R2 piece, and it shifts the bed back 8 millimeters and effectively moves the bed up. Yeah, it's kind of backwards in your mind, but it moves the bed up effectively about 10 millimeters. But what I've noticed on many prints, get this in the right light. See that banding there? It's not even. It's not at an even interval, but it is significant. And I saw it on several prints done just on this printer. Same print sent to the other Core 1 doesn't do this. So, Tuxedo, thanks for being a member. Raj, thanks for being a member. Was I-80 a little bumpy? In places. In places it was super smooth. Steve, thanks for being a member. So that is what I need to fix. That's not acceptable. It's hard to get the light, but you can see it there, and it is, yeah, there we go. And you can feel it. It's pretty significant, and this is the accompanying. So here's a little preview on Trident R2. So this is the rear bed mount and this is the front. This one is 8 millimeters shorter than a typical than the regular setup, and this one's 8 millimeters longer. That's how we shift the bed back and forth. So I have lunar craters. And you can see that same rough. Anyway, I wanted to fix that. I wanted to see what was going on. I mean, regular setup. Won't all Trident shift the bed back like this now? No, because then the spec setup is about where it needs to be for the print area. For INDX, I needed to move the bed back in order to maximize build area. The bed extrusions do not need to be cut. To the degree that we can move it, right? So if someone wanted to do something extreme, it might require cutting extrusions or changing things. But really, the bed itself is what's kind of dictating where, because the mounting points on the bed itself, the heater bed itself. So the standard is not index ready. If you move the bed back 8 millimeters, you'll lose build volume in the standard setup. So, Neil, I'm almost positive it's a printer issue because I've sent the same G code to the other core one and it doesn't do it. So, anyway, those are my examples of what this is doing. And I think what I probably want to do is get some panels off. That'll be fun because these clips are kind of a pain, and I really don't like the printed tools for removing them. I've not had good luck with them. Who's honking? Oh, it's done. Where is my good nippers? Diagonal cutters. Okay, this guy is insisting. Let's see if we can... Oh, I'll check that, Pointy. Actually, I thought about that last night as a nozzle. Oh. There you go. Yes, Oscar missed the strings. Same firmware, yep. Did you see that? He caught it on his claw. He had it, but then he dropped it. And I should jot a D. Hey, Central. Okay, that's it. And clean up. Good job. Okay, you can go over there. Let's double check this. The nozzle. Yeah, it is tight. The nozzle is not wiggling. That is a definite good call. If this loosens up, then it will impact that. Where are those cutters? They might be in the other garage for some reason. Try using a knife. Knife. Where? Oh. Okay. Ahmed. See how that works. There's one, but that's a lot of effort for one. Two. Ah, I got the better idea. There we go. Push in from the back. That lets me get my fingernails on it. Oh, neither garage is tidy right now. This is absolutely awful right now. This is absolutely the worst at the moment. Here. See, I've got stuff tangled here. Why is that? Like that. Okay, there we go. Well, that's actually tied. This is frustratingly awful. Okay, let's see if this thing's even working. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. Everything. See my shame. Look how awful that is. All the way back there. There's Morden's R2. Cascade's a cat treat holder. It's awful. Camera angle, yes. I've been working on it. I mean, the lead up, it was so nice to have the time, the several weeks before the event to really get progress on stuff. I mean, Trident R2, rebuilding the index printer, working on my other Trident R2. Yeah. So having that time, but now it's coming back. Now I got to get things cleaned up and get ready for that Vertigo build, which here's some big prints. These I forgot to print, so I printed these last night. All parts. I'll show how many parts there are in that tomorrow. That's been about 200 and something hours of printing. Anyway, dude, you are a pest. Pushing up from the inside on these is really a whole lot easier. You can do this by hand. Thanks, Gridgman. And J-Surf. Forgive me, but I absolutely am very good at remembering faces, but associating faces to screen names and real names, it takes a few times. Okay. That way we can see in here a little better, a little easier. Get some idea of what's going on in here. Yeah. There we go. It's a little sticky. There we go. Appreciative. Vertigo, 5 rolls of main color plus another roll of accent color. It's a lot. Did you arrange to be here when working on the core one? Oscar, if there are treats, and Oscar's here. R2 changed the Z mounts. Is inverted electronics still possible on R2? It is easier. It is far easier. It is one of those things that I'm not a fan of the inverted electronics mod. However, the changes make it way easier. Okay, so if we just we've got something is shifting, and what I'm thinking though, I just want to check the thing moving. Just checking, making sure I don't feel anything weirdly moving around. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Vertigo printer looks super interesting. Good to see the mechanics of this printer in your build stream. Yeah, I'm actually really excited for the Vertigo. I've been going over some of the documentation and stuff, and they're doing a lot of really interesting stuff. Do you know if R2 will work with Whopping's kinematic mounts? No, it will not, Nick. They will need to be revised. Okay. Don't immediately detect anything here. Bill was awesome. Bill was good company. He put up with me for about 2,000 miles of driving. Hey, Joey. Okay. So what this does do is, here, let's... He knows where the treats are. Let's go here. Come on. Get down. There we go. Okay. What this does do, and what I suspect is going on, let's do this. See if we can get let's move this down. Dude, no. Go down there. Move some of this stuff out of the way so he doesn't knock it off. Here, what if I move these all the way away? What are you going to do now? No more treats there. What? Okay. So now if I go and control and home, and I'm listening for stuff. You know what? The belt's hitting something when it moved over on X. Hey, Toxic. But one of the coconut Dr. Pepper's and tried it. Gene said it best. Ugh, this tastes like sunscreen smells. That's hilarious. So, outside of California, as many of you have probably seen them, but Dr. Pepper, they make a Diet Dr. Pepper or Dr. Pepper Zero that's coconut and cream flavor. And I like it. And both April and Xander like it. But Bill is not a fan. You are a pest. Okay, so what I was hoping to see there is I've noticed recently when this is printing, it squeaks like crazy when it's homing Z. And it didn't do that. It didn't do that at all. But I am hearing a clicking sound that I'm pretty sure is the belt riding on something. And it sounds like it's in this back corner. No. Let's see, do they have a disable steppers? There we go, disable motors. I'm hearing something. Not there. It's definitely on that side of the printer. Or at least I think so. It's hard to tell. Anything? Diagonal to isolate a belt. It's definitely the top belt that's making the biggest noise. I printed last night just a vase mode cylinder here, and it does not show any of those same artifacts. So 3S to 4S. So this is a 3S to 4S to Core 1. And then if I can get that print artifact taken care of, it'll be a Core 1 index. Installed the belt upside down. Let's see. I don't see the text on one. The text I can see is correct. Was this the one that didn't have text on? Oh, there we are. Oh no, that's still the top. I think, oh, let's see. Nope, they're both correct. See? They're both correct. Okay, what am I going to do? I still suspect something in the Z, just because that's the biggest impact. I would need to kind of move the other Core 1 around to see if any of the noises I'm hearing in the XY motion are normal or not. So what I basically want to do is pull the lead screw nuts and clean them up if I can. So let's just move this down. So, upcoming projects. Let's move that all the way. Okay, you're fine. Upcoming projects. So, let's say full build. Oops, that's not where I want that. Oops. We got the Vertigo Mark 1 printer, right? And then I've got modifications. Let's say modification parts. So I have an Ouroboros. Closed loop XY setup. Due to my taste, texture sensitive artificial sweeteners have such horrible aftertaste, I'd rather just drink water. I can see that. Some of them do that for me too. You building a monolith CNC kit from LDO? Probably. Very, very likely. Well, let's do that. Monolith CNC gantry, but also the, what do they call it? Rigid RMG or whatever, the Vitali CNC gantry. I will probably cover both. Different printers. Virtually nobody, only eat sugar in small quantities. Yes. Yes. Have you found your new spot? What else do I have? I have V2 Doom extrusions, and I have VT Doom extrusions. Did you hear back on building a rat rig? No, I used their web form, but I never got a response. So, howdy, Ella. How are you? What else do I have? I brought back some things from the event. Where are they? Just had them. I brought back this, which is the Papilio, which is the little belted extruder. Let's see if I can bring this up. Kevin, aka Sam. Zaruncho is a huge fan of this. But it's a little belted extruder and it's really compact. And these are the unique parts that you need to build this. So that is a thing. So let's go. Papilio, is that what it is? Yeah, Papilio extruder. Got one of those. Full build. Yeah, let's go over here. Cascade. We're on Cascade. That is on the table. Indeterminate time. So, Neil, that's a good point. So, a lot of what I'm going to list here could very well be combined into, if I'm listing parts that I have, the intent would be to combine all that into a, like a compilation build. Hey, Holtz. What was the other thing? Where are those? I have parts for another extruder. The Hyperdrive extruder done by Kyle Davis. Looks really cool. I did some help reviewing their documentation on it. And Mark handed me one of the kits at the show. Don't know where the kit is at the moment though. I've got things scattered a bit. Since monolith, dune cube, and structured panels would be an epic printer. Here, let's go. We go here. Hyperdrive design. Let's see if they have a GitHub. Okay. Hyperdrive printer. Let's try that. Is this them? Yes, this is them. So let's go to their X page. I am streaming tomorrow. Yep. Hey, Killer Prince. Welcome. Hypernova? Is that what it was? Printhead, Hypernova. Let's see here. Yeah, this is it. So this is the Hypernova. This is what I helped review. This is documentation here. Hey, Andrew. Trident V2. Build precision. Yeah, so really interesting. Some machine parts involved, some printed parts. So make that part of a build somewhere. Kyle is really excited about printer design, and I've seen a lot of the creative stuff he's done over the years. So building something that he's come up with will be fun. So let's put this Hypernova toolhead. This is more than just, maybe we can put the Papilio extruder on the Hypernova toolhead. Is this the next project? Well, I'm being the member stream here. We're talking about what I have components for and what could be coming up in future projects. So I have the Vertigo. This is not necessarily in order. However, I know that the Vertigo printer is next. You know, the other thing I need to put in here is the Founders Edition Core 1 Index. That will be coming up, and very important not to miss, we're on Trident R2 build. The Trinity toolhead. Let's see. Is this it? I vote right. Of course you do. Any 3D sets build? So Sean, I'm expecting, if I can get off my keister and get some parts printed, I'm hoping the May members stream will start a series on building the Casadio 22B, the Subaru 22B build. Oh boy, who is this? WV Design. I imagine this is a center of mass optimized toolhead. Here, why don't I do, since this is an easy way, research. Things I don't have parts for and I don't know a whole lot about. I'll just put some links there. There we go. So here, let's go, and we'll probably have time here. Member stream. Casadio, Impreza, 22B. We have the 3D sets, torque. Hey, Delvin. If we go to Colts 3D, I mean, we can probably spend the whole few hours just talking about this stuff. And not even work on this Core 1. Oops, I spelled that completely wrong. Well, not completely. I missed one character. There it is. So this is the 22B. Yeah, the Impreza 3ZA. Yeah. Index tuning might be a cool member stream after it's released. So I am planning, so my expectation is this coming Wednesday, we're going to, oops, not that one, that one. We're going to play with the index. So the Wednesday will be, I'm going to redo the offsets, XY offsets, and basically redo the XY offsets and start a print. And I'm sure with all the questions and stuff that'll come up on this, that'll be an entire stream. So, not necessarily literally listing everyone's wish list. Not necessarily doing full tuning, but at least getting it more to where I can do some prints on it. I didn't, something I came up with while we're sitting here is this is my spool holder solution that I'm really proud of for the, having an idea in my mind and coming up with it about 2 days before leaving for Rocky Mountain. It just goes in and hangs on the extrusion, above and below the panel, the side panel. And then it uses these, here's some. It uses the switch wire spool holders to go in here. And hanging, so I have 6 tools on here now, so 3 on each side, and I think that'll work, or it does work really well. We were printing with it at the show in that setup. Mad Shammy, thank you for being a member. And say hi to the kids for me too, thanks. I am going to be publishing, because I think it's going to be one of those things that I can benefit from some prusimeters. I'm going to be publishing my index mods probably to printables. And this isn't an index mod. This is just a tool changer mod. I'm using it on the stealth changer there too. I built a set for the stealth changer. I gave one of the extrusions away to Nero or to Taylor because he has a harder time getting 1515. So I gave that to him for his index build. But it's a general tool changer mod. And then I also made these things that I'm pretty pleased with. I probably have a piece of extrusion around here. Yeah. Oh, even the right color. I made these, which is a the PTFE holder that goes on the back. These snap onto the corner of the extrusion and hold the PTFE. I've got them right here, holding the little rib cage looking thing of filament or PTFE there. I'm going to remodel that, Bill, to be 1515 or 2020. There's no reason why it couldn't be 2020. I just didn't. I had the 1515 and it's a little slimmer. So, but yeah, this uses a little heat set and screw to actually clamp that to the corner of the extrusion. And then this to kind of hold the PTFE in place. I'll just model another version for 2020 there, John. You seal the corners of your core ones with a... No, I haven't. I throw towels over them and it's plenty. It's actually annoying because the latest firmware for the Core 1 will warn you when the temperature gets over, I don't know what the threshold is, but it's like 55 degrees chamber temperature, and I just ignore it. I get that warning on the Core 1L as well. I'm not that clever, John. The latest firmware does get mad. It's really annoying. Okay, let's move down. So we will intermingle some actual work in here with the chatter. As I think of things that I have that could be parts of future builds. And this isn't necessarily just what I have. As we've had, if you guys want to see stuff, let's talk about it. Harbor Freight moving blankets to insulate my Core 1. Nice. Okay, let's see if I can get this out of here without causing any major issues. Core 1L to the collection. I like my Core 1L. My Core 1L printed every single part for the Vertigo printer. So it has at least 200 hours on it of just printing Vertigo print parts. And there are almost no reprints required. There are some updates that have happened, which I'll need to reprint some parts for, but I wanted to do, oh, come on. Do you pin 41 feet? I should. I've seen, are those the ones that Joel showed on his channel? Because these feet are awful. Yes, that one. Joel, the ones Joel did. I should. Curious to know the decision of choosing to break compatibility between Trident and V2 on the R2 version. Did you just say I'm doing it? Yes. Yes. In order to, the benefits, I think, outweighed the need for having things exact between the two printers. The parts I changed are different anyway. Do I have examples around here? Yes, I have an example. Grab it here. So what Neil is talking about there is, this turned out really well. I'm really pleased with this. This is a demo gantry that we had at Rocky Mountain. And in designing the BA drive mount, the goal here, so the sequence of goals and the results are sometimes just kind of happy little accidents. The initial goal was to support or to mount the stepper with all 4 stepper mounts, or screws, with all 4 screws. So let me grab a wrench here and pull this cover off. The new parts have come to 2.4. Maybe in some form, but not exactly, because it can't. Well, so if we take that cover off, and so the initial goal was to mount the stepper with all 4 screws. Now the previous version had the 3 because there's one of the bearing stacks got in the way. So once I wanted that, then it was, where can we put the bearing stacks for that? And this is basically it started with this one kind of up here, a little more hidden, this one a little over, but this is where we ended up with. So right here happens to be where the Z belts go on a 2.4. So, and then working towards, I don't know if you can see in there's little passageways for the belts. So they just kind of, and little curves, printed in curves. Yeah, it's hard to see with it on the extrusion, but to where it kind of pushes the belts in the right direction. If you, when you see, when 3D Musketeers Grant releases his video interview he did with me on this, you'll see a lot of the belt pathing stuff. Yep. And this is just done with some filament swaps. There are hard lines in the model here because this was always a print artifact area where the transition from the plates to the pillars in between was always a print artifact area. So I figured I'd roll with it and just make that a hard cutoff, which eliminates that visual artifact, but it also makes a nice spot to do a filament change. And then of course I used, if any of you were around when I was doing the double T CNC gantry on the gray Trident, I came up with a printed circlip solution for holding the bearings in, so I implemented that here. There is no official support or unofficial support for chamber heaters in the Vorons there, Kobe. Yeah, if anybody didn't see this, if anybody didn't see the mention, just this change of moving this bearing stack from here to here and the belt routing reduced the belt length by 53 millimeters, which is fairly significant and visible in input shaper results. The size specs for the M5 heat sets are about 7 millimeter diameter and maximum 6 millimeter length M5s. So CNC Kitchen short M5s are perfect. So chamber heaters are a touchy subject because everybody wants to do it, and only a small percentage of people will know what is safe or not. So it has been a decision that was made long ago that we do not want to be the printer that shows up in the same line and the same history books as ANETs. So there are lots of mods out there, and if people are comfortable enough and knowledgeable enough to do it themselves, then I say go for it. But as far as a large community that is catering to the to be accessible as a build, then it's something we decided not to support. But people don't once you open that up, John, people don't limit themselves to safe solutions. It doesn't have to be. You're absolutely right. Okay, how does this come off? And can I get this all the way off? So, well, I just thought of another big reason is you can hit the maximum safe chamber temperature in a Voron without a heater. Right? So very, very ceiling. It's like 80 C. You should probably aim for mid 70 C. And you can do that without a heater. Using bed fans, using some insulation, using a towel. My gray Trident regularly hits 75 C when I'm printing ABS or ASA with just a towel over it. And not even having bed fans. So... that's a good point there, Killer Prince. I agree, but where do you stop? It's a decision that was made. Never forget your towel. Exactly. How do I get these out? I don't know if I can get that all the way out. I think I need to just kind of take advantage of this here and clean it up. How do I clean that up effectively? And put some grease in there. Hey, Alex. If anybody hasn't seen it, I did an interview with Alex on the Trident R2 changes that I think turned out pretty well. Okay, I think I just need to do that and then get some of my... Oscar is really feeling the the high spot there. He likes to be elevated up there. Where is... looking for my super lube. I could probably get some from that. Let's try over here. Yeah, We can get some out of here. #1 video in channel history. Wow. Very nice. Let's get that off first. There's some cat hair that's on there. We're back to the regular scheduled Sunday stream. Yes. Hey, Leo. Yes, we are back. And we have, so for Sunday streams, that Vertigo build is going to be a very solid, at least 2 months, probably a little more of Sundays. I'm just going to do a little better job of making sure these are greased. I think it's going to be one that I'm not a use case for Vertigo. I think we'll see what the queuing capabilities, software queuing stuff is like, but it'd be interesting to just like do a whole build. Like it's not going to line up well, but for say my R2 build, the Trident R2 series, it'd be neat to set it all up and just get it to start and just do all the printed parts for that. I really need a heated chamber. I place my printers in the balcony and point them at the sun. Or you want to print a bunch of Acromills trays or Gridfinity stuff or something. It'd be really interesting to do maybe smaller plates of things. So if you have a failure, it's minimum impact. But if you do a smaller number of parts at a time and automate it to start the next prints, it might be a good thing. I can think of a few applications there. So my challenge will be figuring out where to put it, because you need to be able to let the parts drop below it. Okay, so I'm going to call that enough grease for that one. I don't know that technically we should need to grease these at all, but I want to see if that's the problem. So we'll just do that on all. Cut a hole in the table. Yeah, no problem. I'll just cut a hole. Since this is all happening at the top of the top of the low in the Z height, I'm not greasing it all the way to the bottom. I'm expecting as it works, it'll work its way all the way through. I'm really not sure where I'm going to put it. It is possible. It could be interesting to build a little extrusion table just for it, to have it be able to be rolled around. It could be interesting. Oh, I got something to add to the list. I've got all the parts now to build a antithesis aether. Is that what they call it? So Killer Prints sent me the part to make the antithesis Mark 1 or Mark 3 or whatever they call it. The wind got pulled out of my sails on this. All these parts Wind got pulled out of my sails on this because they basically moved on to another design. So I have these fantastic aluminum parts that Kiloprints gave me, and I had anodized this red, and all this is PPS-CF. So the plan is still to build this because there's way too much here to not build it. I've got a LGX extruder here I'm going to use. I was going to use the tube compact, but that ended up getting put in the gray Trident there. But I'll probably use like a Dragon Ace Volcano in here instead. This is the LGX. This is just an LGX. Not even the light, the full-size LGX extruder. So still the plan is to build this because that is way too much in parts not to do so. When is a good question though. So we go through here, antithesis MK3.1 or whatever, and the antithesis Aether. Is that right? Yeah. Tube compact and full-size LGX. Yeah, but like I said, I used the tube compact in my Zoll tool head on the gray Trident because the Rapido Ace that I had in there failed, and I needed to be able to print PPS on that printer. So I printed, here's a PPS Zoll carriage for tube compact that I printed with it. So I printed just an ASA body, and it failed. Heat creeped and failed. So then I printed a PCCF one, a Prusament PCCF one that printed this. So this is the one that needs to go on there. I just haven't swapped it yet. So, and this is annealed in my lab oven at 125 C, I think it was, for 16 hours. And it didn't warp at all. So, Kobe, thank you. Appreciate that. When is E3D going to release that high flow extruder with the flat hot sun? The Fuge. The Fuge. That is a TBD. Don't know. What brand PPS-CF? That is the Polymaker. The Polymaker. Okay, back to this. Okay, so back to kind of cleaning this out. Just kind of grinded some salt down to powder. I need to test annealing with this weekend. Interesting. I annealed at the same time as printing and annealing that, I did the X carriage for the INDX, and that printed that and annealed it. I'm hoping just greasing this is going to solve my problem. No, that's not food. Oh, Burger Grinder did a good job of it. Oh, cool. Here, let's do... Hey, Jeff. Let's do the other thing I want to start covering. I want to fill in some Wednesday streams. Let's say this is modification parts, but we want, what in the world did that do? Weird. What would be the category here? More just general topics. I want some RepRap firmware content. And here's why. You see more and more reports and knowing that Raspberry Pi prices are skyrocketing. There are Pi alternatives for sure, but as these SBCs get expensive, the case for something like a RepRap firmware starts getting a lot more appealing, and maybe not appealing to you, but maybe appealing to one of you or a few of you. And if we get more attention on it, there's more development on it, and you get a little bit of hopefully a little bit of momentum in people developing for it and getting excited about it. So degrees out ZD, all the makes it worked wonders. Wouldn't X home before? Yeah. We're just gonna go through this and then start a print on it. Will bomb be available to order parts? Soon. 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 There. Actual soon. Not Voron soon. You can run RepRap firmware on many BTT and other Mellow and other boards. They have to have the right processor with enough RAM and enough processing power in order to do it. Team Gloomy, if you look up the Team Gloomy stuff, they've been working a lot more with Duet and the RepRap firmware folks on compatibility stuff in recent years than has been done in the past. Jeff, I am going to publish all of my INDX stuff for the Trident R2, probably on printables and GitHub. They do handle CAN. I don't think they handle like USB extension, but CAN on RepRap firmware is, Bill has a good point. You have to be pretty familiar with the documentation for RepRap firmware to do configuration, but their CAN setup and update setup is far easier than Clipper. Okay, one more. To the back one here. This might have been easier to just grease these and move the thing up and down. Maybe that's what I'll do for the back one. But it wouldn't have taken as long and wouldn't have used as much time here to chat. Trident 300 side pack kit to build a new Trident. It's Trident R2. as Toxoid said before, Trident V2 gets pretty confusing. Just like we're on Voron 2.4 R2 right now. So technically this would be if we were going, it's hard. It gets confusing. Let's just put it that way. Voron 2 does need a name. It does. How long was R2 in development? So I've been working on little bits of Trident updates for a couple of years, at least. The front idlers, their origins were about 2 years ago. And what takes so long is just waiting for that inspiration to come up on what is a change that's significant enough to be worth it. Okay, so now let's go up. Get the cat hair out of there. Now that that's all the way up, let's go to control and calibration and tests and do a Z alignment calibration. Most people just hear Voron and think 2.4, just leave it as just Voron. Anyway, what happened over the last 6 months or so is inspiration and stuff hit. What is going on there? I guess that's right. Okay. And you know, the time and motivation to start working on the fine tuning things and things like the XY joints and such. So technically, as I've said over the course of time, is things are always being worked on. It's when enough people or person gets enough time and motivation to make progress on something is when things get done. And that's just come together here. And definitely external motivating factors. So the need for, or the thought of how do you maximize space in something like the INDX or the toolchanger has a huge factor on inspiration and motivation. Okay, so with that, let's print something on here while we chat about other things. Came away from Rocky Mountain with an experiment. Roseworks has a thick bed plate that is supposed to allow Beacon to work on their embedded mag plate. Oh yeah. Hey Adam, thanks for being a member. Big AF 84. I use the Ember Prototypes camera, and we're going to, on Wednesday, we're going to recalibrate those because they're not quite right. And I'm going to recalibrate them with the latest version of the Ember Prototypes camera. What's my view on the Prusa dry boxes? They're fine. It's nice that they mount on right here for Core 1 printers to be determined on how they are. I hope to get some to try, but I have no idea. I've glanced at them at the shows, but I haven't paid a lot of attention to them. Idlers were a great quality of life improvement. I kind of felt like the current iteration was a step back from the initial idlers. What do you mean? On which ones? That event did fly by. Let's let's just print one of these pieces. The same piece, maybe the rear. Let me bring this up. Where? Print this. So this is the rear. This is slightly smaller than one of the front ones, I think. And we're going to go. Let's turn this off. Whoa. Oh, actually, let's go here. Discard all those changes. Okay, so that should do. This would be about a 40-minute print. Seems like a very intense, crowded show. It was. Slightly harder time routing through the R1 idlers than the initial ones. Oh yeah, because the bolt gets in the way. Because the bolt needed to be in the center line of the bearing, and it wasn't in the initial ones. So yes, that is true, Troy. The new ones are cake, though. Do I have a belt? That's not a belt. I don't know where all my stuff is. Stuff is scattered. Yeah. Oh, maybe. Is that some belt? There we go. Whatever. Long belt. So yeah, there's a little curve on the inside of that. That means that just pushes right through there. What is it hitting? Right through there, and it does the same thing the other way. Of course, I'm cheating a bit because this is a used belt that has a significant thing there, but yeah. Hey Liz, thanks for the all sorts. What was your question, Ella? I may have missed it. Matt Al. Trident update along these shorter belt paths. It's Trident, that's true. What did I miss, Ella? You'll have to repeat it. I couldn't find it in a quick scroll. How long roughly have you been working? Oh, yeah, I talked about that. You were on a call. A couple of years is what I would say. But intense development, probably the last 4 or 5 months. 5 or 6 months, maybe. Yeah, we're getting a print going. So 42 minutes. Everything should be good here. Let me clean off the bed just in case. I mean, the front idlers started at least 2 years ago with concept parts and long gaps of not working on it because just not having inspiration for what is a meaningful upgrade. Hey there, Reverend. Okay, let's put that there, and send to connect. Select and go. While we're here, because this thing is hazy, let's clean the inside of the door glass. Oop, that probably wasn't great, but is there any performance improvements you were aiming for with the R2? Oh yeah. I mean, it didn't seem like, it seemed like we needed some sort of print speed improvement, potential improvement, anything for it to be worth it. So the shorter belt path, the supported, okay, that's fine. The shorter belt path, the supported shafts on the steppers. So let me make a checklist, see if I didn't miss anything. Way better. This Plexo stuff works pretty good. Castle Plexo. Okay, so that is working on that. Get a camera over here, maybe, so we can see it printing if I want to. But then we can start talking about more extension for the, there it is. Let's get the extension on here. So here, I'll show you something here in a minute. Zeruncho, that's kind of cool. I mean, show you something in a minute here, Neil, that Zeruncho made that's kind of cool and useful. Camera set up here. Andy, seems to be a lot of excitement around the double shear AB mounts. Can you explain the benefit? Yeah. What do we got? A clown hammer here? Hey, clown hammer. Good to see you. Okay, there. Put that there. Actually, there we go. That's better. Okay, we'll get that going. So the idea behind what is referred to as double shear is the end of the stepper has a shaft that sticks out, and you put a pulley on there at some point and put tension on it from belt tension. So you have a 5mm shaft on there. There is a limit to how much tension you can put on that before you run the risk of over time breaking the shaft or causing damage in the stepper. So just the idea is if you support it on the end, then you can increase that tension beyond what you would be able to otherwise. The question I have is how effective is a plastic mount for that? And people seem to think it's effective, so that's what we've gone with. How many M5 heat sets are needed for the R2 upgrade? 2 in each BA stepper motor mount. So that's 4. 2 in each XY joint. So that's 8. And then 1 in each pivot point for the Z. So that's 11. And then if you replace them in the feet, which is the only other place where M5 hex nuts were, that's 15. So 15. So what I was going to show here is this thing. Now I don't have numbers to quote, but they're out there, or they will be out there. But this is a cool thing that Zeruncho made. And it is basically an optimized diff frame for testing motion system, XY motion system. So there has been back-to-back testing with the old setup, the new setup. There was I don't know the exact numbers, but for the belt length reduction, there was a coinciding percentage improvement in acceleration recommendations. This is the tool head that he uses, and it's able to be shifting weight balance on here. So Zeruncho has done a ton of work in setting this up and getting this set for as a test platform. That wanted to build that printer. Talk about long shaft dual motor setup already, or is it worth going stick with kit motors? It's worth it if you are interested in maximizing the performance within this setup. So anyway, this was at the show, available for people to poke around and play with. I think the minimum stepper shaft length is somewhere around 35 millimeters. Oscar's got his new favorite place. Okay, so let's get this up here. Pretty good guess for positioning. It's possible 30 might be. 28s is another, I think, common size. Those, because I had to move the bearing up, used to be okay. I think they're a little short now. How is the overhand part cooling with the Prusa tool head? I don't, what do you mean? Oh yeah, John, I saw that too. That was interesting. Using the new features in Orca Slicer. This is Maker's Muse, yeah. What else do I have? Where did I put? This probably won't show up on a stream, but I've been playing around with printing the parts for Mandix 10-inch rack. So I got a bunch of parts here. Started for that. But the intent for this is to be able to have a show network set up. A bunch of the new version M6 nut carriers. A bunch of M6 fasteners and hardware for it. Anybody here built one of these printed 10-inch racks? This is all done in the Polymaker PET glass fiber, the fiber on PET. It turned out really nice. So that'll hopefully be ready for the next show we do, whether that be Open Sauce or Orange County Maker Fair. It is not annealed. It wasn't necessary for this to be annealed. It was just a nice filled, good looking filament that I had on hand. Have printed neat electronics. So I have a Unify Express 6, I think it is, gateway that's going in it with the, I'll probably, my PoE switch I have is too wide. So I'll probably either repurpose an 8-port Unify switch I have, or buy another 8-port switch for that specifically. I have a dream wall that I need to install, which might free up a switch. Voron team thinking of doing open source. We have applied for an exhibitor spot, but we have not received a response. Have you received a response for your exhibitor spot, Adam? Then print the rack. Hey, Shlunky. Printed every mount in the rack. Yeah, there's so many mods out there and pre-done mounts for different bits and pieces. It's been over a month, Adam. What I'm concerned with, because Will can be a little interesting, I'm concerned with, since we sponsored 1 year, trying to go back to an exhibitor spot they may not like instead of sponsoring. It's not worth sponsoring. Are we doing Lone Star this summer? No. The density of events is just too high for me. So I've done... So this year has been Smurf, Rocky Mountain. I'm doing Jerf. So in just 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm going to Japan. 3.5 weeks. Holy moly. I don't have a hotel yet. I have flights. That's the important one. Flights are booked, but no hotel yet. And then hopefully Open Sauce, and then Orange County Maker Fair, 3D Printopia, and Vice in Portugal. And I'm probably skipping Form Next. Where in Japan is Jerf? Tokyo. It's near the main, one of the main airports in Tokyo. So I think our plan, we're going to be out there for a while. April and Xander and I are all going. And I think our plan, we'll be out there for a while. But our plan is to just stay at the event hotel and just take the trains and public transit into the city to check things out. Expect a tiny hotel room. Yeah, I'm getting 2. One for me in April and one for Xander. Yeah, Japan does seem to have a pretty good forum following. I'm listed on their... where is this? Japan RepRap Festival 2026. English. So yeah, I think I'm listed here under, where is it? They have a creator page. Maybe it's just here on the main one. They had there's a page somewhere here of folks that'll be there. Where is it? About? Huh. Who's gonna be? Polymaker, Anycubic, Prusa, Sarai Attack, EQ, Cardiff, E3D. Yeah, it looks like they got a pretty good list of sponsors and people. There it is. Media and creators. So, who do we got here that we know? Sam will be there. I'll be there. Boy in Space will be there. Esoterical. I'm very much looking forward to meeting Esoterical. Stefan will be there. Hendrik, Jan. Yeah. So. You come and hang out with us Midwest folks in June. I am not, Alex. Murph is just, I need to, I need to pace my vacation consumption. I do not. I do not have any comprehension of Japanese in any way. Texas Expo hasn't published sponsors yet. Isn't it in August? They were promoting it at Rocky Mountain. Saw some of the organizers were walking around there, or at least people that were wearing some merchandise for it. I wouldn't mind going. It's just there's too much going on, and I need to make another trip. I need to squeeze in a trip to the Pacific Northwest. And I'd really like to sneak in a trip to Idaho. But I don't know when that's going to be. Ohio gozaimasu. I have no idea. That's awful, isn't it? What does that mean? So what we're printing here is the rear bed mount revised for an INDX implementation, but it's just an example showing the seeing if I observe the same print artifacts. It means good morning. Hey, John. Well, that's going. What else do we have we can put on our list here? So full builds, we have the Vertigo printer that we're coming up. We're going to do a Voron Cascade at some point, probably. Founders Edition Core 1 Index is soon. Voron Trident R2 build is soon. So the Voron Trident R2 build is going to be on the Trident frame. So that is going to be on the Trident frame. What is Stealth Fork? Is that Voron soon? No, it's actual soon. When I can fit in. So timing is really poor for this because the Vertigo printer is going to be 2 months worth of stuff. Trident R2 is going to be released before I'm done with that. That's as much of a timeline as I can give you right now. So, and then the Index here is, I mean, I don't know when. Index might end up being a Wednesday build series because I don't really want to interrupt the Vertigo build because it's going to be intense and extended. So, yeah, we'll see the Trident on stream. It's over there somewhere. Let's see. What was I going to then? Stealth Fork. Printers France, Stealth Fork. So what is this? The one where Micron R1 and Solid Fork had a baby. Is there a 120 version of this? Will there be a pins mod for Trident R2? If someone comes up with one, not a 120 version. There. let's just put it on the research. Let's put it in here. I had a Trident 250 RFD unboxed since almost a year. Well, the bomb's same for the Trident R2. It'll be close. So the main differences in, let me grab something here. The main differences between the current kits that are out there and Trident R2 are going to be, aside from existing fasteners, like M3x8s, the exact quantity of those might change a little bit. Or M3x25s, you know, that kind of thing might change a little bit. But this is a example here. So here is the, here's the M5 short heat sets. And then one change is replacing, oh, there's that flat spotted one, M5x40 socket heads with M5x40 button heads. So these are going completely away. And similarly, M5 hex nuts are going away. M5 hex nuts and M5 socket heads are going away, replaced with button heads and heat sets. And then you'll need a few extra F695 bearings. So it's out of the way. Do you have a link for the M5 heat sets? Your safe bet is the CNC Kitchen M5 shorts. CNC Kitchen M5 shorts. Those are available from several of the US vendors and definitely available in Europe directly from CNC Kitchen. There are lots of sources for that size of heat set. These that I was showing here are actually 6 millimeters long. These are a generic one I got off Amazon. But if we can promote a run on M5 heat sets from CNC Kitchen, I won't be sad, because Stefan's cool. I'm sure the usual suspects will be selling R2 upgrade kits. Yeah, we were trying to let people know at the show that KB3D had M5 short heat sets from CNC Kitchen at the show. We have not done an actual final count on fasteners though. Those are the changes. Is Stefan ready for the Voron hug? Don't know. I should give him a warning. What's sugar cube? Here, let me put this here just to what is that? The LH Stinger GitHub. Here, let's do this. LH Stinger. Look at that. Oh. Look at that thing. Let's copy that. Let's put that here. What is this other thing you're talking about? Sugar cube. What is sugar cube? Is there a GitHub for it? Sugar cube. Core XY 3D printer. Oh, that looks neat. At least the render. What do we got here? Sugar cube is a compact. Okay, you're getting my attention. Compact is a key word that I like. M5 by 5.8. 6 millimeters is the max length on there, Leo. 5.8 works just fine. But 6 millimeters is the absolute maximum length. Compact, fully enclosed 3D printer. 1530/30 based frame. Okay. Core XY kinematics, kinematic triple Z, metal sandwich gantry. Travel area 126 by 122. Panel to panel. Bill of materials can be found. RK for the renders, artistic. Yep. I like little printers. We're going to eventually have an army of little printers spread out in this garage, all printing at once. That's a stream idea at some point. I've got a lot of little printers. Okay. What else do I have in my arsenal of things to do? Parts I already have. Let's see if I see anything. Components, parts I already have. How about the monolith? Oh yeah, that's definitely the M0. Monolith M0. Monolith 0. I don't think this is fully released. Is that right? No, that's not it. That's... No, where's the... What is this? Parts from LDO, Monolith 0. I know Zarancho built one, and it's very impressive. Ah, I had to sneeze. Well, let's just do this as the reminder. Okay. Still going. I'm not hearing anything out of the ordinary in the printing, and I'm not seeing, just looking at it here, I'm not seeing anything. So maybe just greasing the Z-rails is enough to fix that issue. Hey, Bob. Welcome. Member streams. What else are we going to do in a member stream? Any other, not necessarily full builds, but anything people want to see? Like we're talking about some of the parts I have to incorporate into a build. Would be like the Ouroboros. That is actually with Isix Tech right now. I dropped it off with him to replace a component on there because mine is a beta version. So the Monolith CNC gantry, the Vitali CNC gantry, V2 and Trident Doom extrusion setups, the Papilio extruder, the Hypernova toolhead. I want to do some content on RepRap firmware due to the increasing price in increasing prices and highs. Quad XY setups. Let's just say in general, some sort of quad XY. That will be the Vitali CNC gantry. So this one, the expectation when I get to this, when it's ready, will be on my RepRap firmware V2, which will kind of combine a couple of those things, the general topic. And then the monolith will probably be on a Trident. See what you do with all these printers after you've built them. a little shop tour of them all set up. Dragster build. I've already built a dragster. I had it out at 3D Printopia one year. I have some things I need to do to the other garage to make the space a little more efficient. So what I may do with this little sheet here is I may post it and make it shared to public to view. Or maybe even comment. Someone wants to comment on it. What is Taylor doing live? He's not supposed to go live until 5. When was the last time Charlie Wire saw any love? Charlie Wire was printing at Rocky Mountain. Charlie Wire was there at Rocky Mountain printing. Resin, when we see in the upgrades to the Trident R2? Soon. Soon. Oh, gaming stream? Yeah. There's a release date on Phoenix. The release date on Phoenix is Voron soon. Oh, Neil, I checked out some of the carbon or glass filled TPU that Soraya Tech had at the show. That stuff's really cool. VZBot had an update. I do want to revisit my VZBot, even if it is to set up some sort of better Z end stop or homing solution, because there's no reason why that printer shouldn't be printing for me. It's not the printer, it's more me and wanting the Z end stop to be a little different. Do you have any summary of what the update is, GPs? Let's see. VZBot. Oh, is there a VZBot.com? I don't know if I want to go there. Apparently not. VZBot GitHub. Any collaboration projects in the work? A little bit of talk, but nothing scheduled. Let's go here. VZ235. Not sure, dual shear motor mounts. So nothing in the here 7 months ago. Nothing that new. When is the next Killer Prince collab? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Sometime after you get settled? Oh, in the Mellow 3D store on Ali. Okay. This isn't too far from done. What do I have here? So tomorrow will be a lot of covering these same topics, but mostly centered on Rocky Mountain RepRap Festival recap and unbox the Vertigo parts. Because I need to, over the next week, once I unbox the Vertigo parts, I'm going to put heat sets in the first few steps parts and organize fasteners and stuff. Oh, here's something that's interesting from the show. This survived. Oops. This survived. I mean, it's starting to fall apart, but it survived the show. I gave the one that I've already removed the supports on to Bondtech. I let them take it home. And I'll probably remove the supports on here because they're on the way. And maybe I'll print another one at some point. But this was a really popular print for people to check out at the Bondtech booth. And both of them survived. Are you doing the old Papilio or the new Papilio Legend? How do I tell the difference? Donkey. How do I tell? Oh, Legend. That's how you tell the difference. It says Legend on the label. Yep. Legend. Do you know what C1 INDX is going to use for part cooling? It uses the same setup as this. Yeah, you can't really see it in that view. It uses their 4020 or whatever this fan is, in the similar configuration as this. The back hanging fan with this setup. I have no idea when my Founders Edition will be here, but I'm in the queue. I ordered a bunch of extra nozzles. I've got some larger and some smaller. So I think I got at least 1.25 and then 1.8. My Trident Index here has all 0.5 nozzles on it because Prusa gobbled up all the 0.4s, so they could only send me 0.5s. Wick Central, did you get the Core 1 or the dev kit? That would do it. Legend was announced not that long ago, so I wasn't sure. I'll buy Kevin's server if you need anything. I will. The C1 kit, cool. You put 6 on a 250. What do you think would fit comfortably on a 350 without crowding? I think it's 9. So you can fit 7 on a 250 with a little bit of crowding. And then basically add 1 for each size up. And it gets a little less crowded for each size up because it's about 40 something millimeters center to center, with cooling ducts accounted for. So I think 9 is the comfortable limit for a 350. If you're optimizing to fit as many tools as possible on on the index, then you're your tool head, when it goes in, is actuating the plunger on the adjacent tool head. So mine is spaced so it doesn't do that. But if you're trying to optimize the number of tools, you will end up with a little wear spot on your tool head over time, because it'll be hitting in a weird spot. Hey, JD. Oh, I got something else that reminds me. I can add to the list, but I can also bring them out here. Ooh. I gotta paint these and stuff, but I got these from Traxman. So, steel, mild steel frame braces for a 300 cube Trident. So these might go on Tribent. Maybe Tribent could use them. Yeah, these are heavy. And they are mild steel, so I need to process them and paint them, or have them powder coated somewhere. So yeah, these are this is a bit of weight here. So that can be added to the list. There we go. I don't know where I put those. Maybe they're in here. Nope. Such a mess. Tri-bent is a myth. Well, that's what my Trident R2 build is going to be, on the tri-bent frame. Why are index tools being put on the front, not the back of the printer? It is a better and more reliable filament path to put them on the front. To put them, let me correct that. It is a more reliable filament path to put them at the opposite side of the printer, where you put the spools. Or at least the PTFE entry. Your Trident got heavier than those in Rocky Mountain. See you, Nadir. Then add steel panels to make a Trident weigh as much as Cascade. My Cascade is heavy. My Cascade is all steel panels. I did check out the Redwood printer a little bit. The U1 has filament path that goes to the back, tools on the back. Let me revise what I said. The tools are only held in, same with the Prusa XL has it on the back and the back. But the Index has the tools being held in with magnets. And I would only trust those magnets so far. Hey, Robert. Yeah. My biggest concern is knocking a tool loose. I don't see, just looking at this, I don't see any of those artifacts, so maybe this is fixed. Was it dirt on a lead screw? It might have been. I mean, I greased them. At the very least, if it gets rid of the whining when it moves long, has long movements on Z, then that'll be a win. Hey, Spectra. Is there anything else you folks want to see me add to my stream? And so this is kind of full builds that are coming up. A bunch of parts I have that can be used in modifications. Stuff for me to research. So the member stream content that's coming up, and I want to cover a little more RepRap firmware. Bill, what else did we... Bill and I chatted a little bit about... that finished. It's quiet. It's quiet. Any shop infrastructure you've been meaning to do using 3D printing? Gridfinity stuff, organization stuff. The list definitely keeps me busy for the foreseeable future. And that's not even counting things that are going to come out that I have no idea exist yet. Oops, didn't mean to leave that on. Okay. Zip tie. I'll give you sometime this summer. Cool. Okay, so this is just... I should be able to pop it off. Yeah, there is none of that. I mean, the next test will be see if it does okay in ABS or ASA, but there is none of that same artifact that was on there. Yeah, you can see those rings. That's a good print. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so probably not a terrible idea to just put the top back on and just start a ASA print of the same thing. Unload. Ambrosia black PLA I was using there. Managed to grab from the event. We were printing spool holders out of this on the Legacy because I forgot all of my tools for the show. My whole box with tools and the little spool holders for the Phoenix and the other printers were all in one box, and I forgot. So. Just pull these out. I should do, there's a mod for a little magnet and hinge setup for these. I think that would be a good mod to do. Yeah, it was awful not having my tools and all the stuff that I had prepped to be able to work on stuff and be ready. But always have to forget something. Crooked Crow. Crooked Crow is really cool. It's not currently on my list. I think I would probably want to build a baby belt before I build the bigger printer. Baby belt has been kind of on the peripheral of my list for a while because it's cute and interesting. Let's put this on and we'll bring up we have some pages for Crooked Crow and Baby Belt. All those, Rob something, I don't remember his last name. Rob's Designs. Okay, that's all on there. Have some ASA, Galaxy Black, Polymaker ASA. Yeah, that's kind of the same reason here, Adam. I don't have a belt printer, and I think it would be fun, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. Remember that compact keyword. Rob Mink, there we go. Go get that in there. Let's see. Let's go here. Crooked Crow printer. See what that comes up with. Have any? Is there a GitHub for it? There we go, Rob Mink. I'm imagining it's going to be here. So we have Baby Belt, which is this little thumbnail there. Is there a picture down here? Oh, no picture on the actual page. Oh, Baby Belt Pro. Still no pictures. Come on, Rob. But that's what it looks like. Well, same thing with Delta printers, John. And we built a Delta printer because I hadn't done one before and it's fun. Crooked Crow. Is there any pictures here? No. No pictures. Okay. I bet you. Here, let's do this first because I'm gonna do a Google image search. Crooked Crow printer. Let's see, something that's not a YouTube video. Everything's YouTube or Instagram. Yeah. Looks like there's some YouTube videos out there if you search for them. See you, Philip. A scar printer for fun then? Sure. If you got a design out there. You got a design out there. Okay, let's get this going with ASA. Emu MMU. What is, do you have a link there, Poity? Emu MMU. Expandable multi-material unit. Is this the one that was at Smurf? Yep, DW test. Yep, this one is cool. But probably not high on my list. I've got the box turtle and really going more with where do I put it for one thing. But then going more with the toolchanger stuff for my multi-color needs beyond that. Now that I'm getting more and more devices that are enclosed and should be at least ABS capable, rollover and for accents. You know, that's a good point. I like that. The rollover is a really good point for auto rollover filament run out. It seems to be very well done. And DW TAS is a creator of like the Zoll and the A4T. add it to a tool changer. I know, but that just becomes such a monster of things you have to manage. Put it on the LH Stinger with snapping turtle, but that does remind me. Let's go over here. I did order a snapping turtle, so that's on the list of things that we'll look at some point. I did the Kickstarter for one of those. Did you show Nemi end stop PCB? I did not. I do have it right here though. So that little end stop pod that does X and Y there at the A joint, Nemi made a custom Hall effect. There's a Hall effect sensor there and optical setup for it. I did get a another Core 1 conversion kit. I took advantage of their spring sale. Basically saved $200 because of shipping, free shipping. And that is probably going to convert my remaining Mark IV, because I'll have all the parts if any Prusa ever does anything with it, but I'd be surprised if they do anything with the Mark IV. So it would be more valuable to me as an enclosed printer, and maybe put the MMU on it. So I'd have an MMU Mark IV, or Core 1, a INDX Core 1, and then a regular Core 1. Icarus boxless MMU. What is that? I don't know. Greg spool holders. Oh, Icarus. Thank you. Yes. Talking into more printers. Okay. Doing a build series on Phoenix or just a show and tell of the current build one. That, yeah. That's a... I should do a tour of its current state. We could do that on a Wednesday stream. That's not really a build. 0G Nebula. Would that be a conversion of an existing printer? Or fresh builds? Let's see. Let's go back here. Let's just go other. Oh, yeah, general topics is where that would be. So this would be Phoenix Tour. Fresh build with LDO frame. We could talk about it. I'd want to probably utilize most of what I already have, because I don't need 2 Mercury 1s. I need to minimize, especially on full-size printers. The compact and the mini builds can get tucked away, but I need to minimize the number of printers, new printers. Like we talked about a while back, more and more will end up being, yes, I said color was correct. More and more will end up being rebuilds and modifications to existing. The Nebula is only 235. Mine's 270. My Mercury 1. Printer shit build. Now do I index my Core 1 or the Trident? That's a good question. I'm gonna have both. And I'm terrible about getting rid of printers. And really, it's not practical to give custom printers away to schools and stuff. Are there, what Cross XY printers designs are out there? There's the K3 and there's the Crow XY. Is that what they call it? That was the guy who did, what was it? They programmed something, a game for Microsoft. Which game was that? Didn't they do a game that was in Windows? I don't remember. I'm drawing a blank. Why not? What? No. This is a real thing. The guy who, I don't remember their name, that does the Crow XY was also the creator of a game. I don't think it was Solitaire for Windows. It was something else. Well, I don't think it was Minesweeper either, but was it? Might have been Minesweeper. I don't remember their name either. Wonder if I still have them in my Discord list. I remember the group. Just glancing through my so many Discord servers. See ya, John. I'm merging different printers together, seeing K3Z cinematics with a Voron gantry. So, and Joel, tell me about the California 3D printing bill. How far did you have to travel to make that appearance? I had to travel about 2 blocks from where I work. I work about 2 blocks from the Capitol, downtown Sacramento. So I did not have to travel far. What's this? Is the server still around? Oh, there it is. The Ice Cream Factory is the server name. Ice Cream Factory, funny. Crow XY is the printer. Phoenix me and boom comes to space. And I don't remember the person's name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What do we got here? Okay. Ew. There we go. What else do we have? This is doing this. Let me see. Do I have that part in the... That would probably do it. No, that's 3 hours. That's a 3-hour print. Sorry, I'm looking to see if I have a print here to start. Do a Prusa wire. I don't have enough parts for that. There's so much that you need. I don't have the extras to do that. I thought Phoenix was a heated chamber for smaller printers. Phoenix gets hot. I don't have my Phoenix insulated or anything. Here, we'll do a little. We're close to done here. Kind of running out of things, but let me roll this thing over here open up the doors. Stuff stacked in here, but that's okay. Move. New Rook build. If wire management was any sort of focus on that, then maybe. But that hasn't been the trend with those. Let's go here. Zoom in a bit. Just get some view of Phoenix. There we go. Please don't do a Prusa wire. I have no desire to do a Prusa wire. It may be a fun build, it may be whatever it is, but I have no desire. Anyway, this is kind of the new setup. These are all the spools. These are all the spools holders that I forgot. I had moved them in here. I didn't forget them in the Phoenix. I have moved them in there since. But this is the new filament setup. Let me get some, cut the zip ties that are in there for transport. There is some stuff that needs to be taken care of, but that's the basic setup. Your Phoenix at Rocky Mountain. It was. Yep, this one was there. How many index could you fit in the Phoenix? Well, if you need about, let's say, 40 something millimeters, what do we have space across the thing? So here we have about 810 millimeters. So 810 divided by 40. So what is that, about 20? Printed anything in Phoenix that you couldn't print otherwise? I did a whole grid of a full-size grid for the drawers here for the Gridfinity stuff. This is pulled out. But anyway, this works pretty well because I don't know if you can see the umbilical here kind of twists around and completely avoids the other tool. Works pretty well. And same with the other side. Just goes across like that. Trying to sort out filament paths and spool management for a 20 head. I know that sounds like a nightmare. But this is Hexy. Hex XY. I don't remember what there was a term, there was a sequence of terms that matched this. But you got to figure that's the X motion system is quad X. There's 2 steppers per tool head. Yeah, it's Hexy. Plus 2 steppers for the Y. How many steppers? Anybody? Some people in here know. But if you don't know for sure, guess how many steppers are on this printer. Guess how many steppers are on this printer. If you know for sure, keep quiet. If you don't know the actual answer, or if you hadn't heard the actual answer. Got 15, 16, 42. That's the right answer. 15, 16. Everybody's guessing higher than I would have thought. Bob's saying 12. There are 14 steppers in this printer. There are 14. So 4 for the Z motion, 6 in the gantry, 1 for each tool head and 1 for each booster. So yes, all the steppers. All the steppers. But now it is in a state where I should be able to print with it. It hasn't been in that state for a while because it's been in between. You saw Nearest video, yeah. So the boosters are to assist the filament getting through. This is the booster. So this feeds the filament. The spool holder goes right here. It's not installed right now, but feeds the filament through here and all the way through the long filament path. So having a booster is on each side is handy. And now, thanks to RCF working on it, the second booster is working. It wasn't working before. But I have a Octopus Max as the controller in here, which is a 10 stepper using their easy format. So I have the Octopus Max 10 driver controller in there, plus a CAN toolhead board per other stepper. So the gantry is all NEMA 17, Neil. The that's not an M4, it's a different design. The gantry is all NEMA 17. The Z steppers are NEMA 23, and then all the others are little pancake steppers. It uses ball screws, Tech Geek. And it is 120 volts. In the backpack, I can show the... There's the electronics. Yeah. So this is using a Pi 4 with the Toucan add-on. So this is what the CAN connections. I had to do some extra wiring to get the additional CAN devices on the second bus. Is Trident R2 out yet? No, but soon. Actual soon. 2 power cords. Yeah, there's power here for basically everything but the beds, and then a power cord just for the beds. So it'll turn on without the beds plugged in. Yeah, it would be bad on the bottom of this one. Would have been out of the question to think they'd have the ability to get a 220. It would be easy to do 220 on this. Just get 220 heaters on the beds and make sure that your power supplies support it. So it would be very easy to do 220 on this. It's just all of my beds are LDO. It's just LDO 300 beds and heaters. So they're all 600 watt. So this is 2.4 kilowatts of just bed heating. So you don't heat them all up at once when you're running 120 volts. Yeah. So, and this was the other project. This is a big project that I had. So when I said I was going on a hiatus, this was not done. I had to completely redo the toolhead wiring. New beds from DLL PDF. The problem with those is they're 1,000 watts. It'd be 4,000 watts. I couldn't do it on a even then, even on a 220 volt circuit. What is that? Rename it backbreaker. And 4 of those is they quote about a dollar per millimeter on those beds. So that'd be what, $1,200 for for the beds. Yeah. So anyway, this was a big thing that I was made progress on while I wasn't streaming. The other thing was, I don't know, you can't see it there. These are above the printer there, all those boxes. That's all Vertigo parts. That's all Vertigo printed parts. All separated out into the different folders of parts. So it's fairly well organized. I've double checked all the parts. I'm missing a couple of parts that I'm printing now. But yeah, that was a big thing that I was able to focus on, is cycling the prints for that. The graphite beds. I have not tried the graphite beds. So 16.6 amps. There we go. Are we starting that tomorrow? No. So tomorrow is going to be a recap of Rocky Mountain. So I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot about this guy because this combines INDX and Trident R2. And we're going to unbox the Vertigo. I have the boxes for it right there. And we're going to be unboxing that so I can start getting parts pulled out and organized for the build. And then we'll actually start the build the first or whatever that is. Does your wife have an equally expensive and time-consuming hobby? Fortunately, not equally expensive, but definitely time-consuming. She is very much into collecting fabric and sewing and quilting and such. The BD sensor, people have some neat new stuff out. You might want to maybe incorporate it into a build or two. BD sensor, what is that? Unbox now for members. Well, I got to have something to do tomorrow. Although I'm sure we'll be fully occupied talking about stuff. What is BD sensor? Let's see. BD sensor. Real-time flow adjustment. I was not aware of this. Interesting. BD width sensor is an optical width and motion sensor for 3D printer. I saw this at Rocky Mountain. Printing machines can cost a lot more than 3D printers. Yes, they can. But she likes to do a lot of that stuff by hand and on her sewing machine that she has. A load cell too. BD pressure, real-time PA. I saw this too. And then these things they had at their booth. Real-time eddy current sensor. Wonder if we could get this to work with for XY offsets. BD pressure, real-time PA adjustment. Does that mount in between the tool head or something? Ella, the BD pressure, it's not accurate. Be better for QA and making filament rather than printing with it. So does this measure in only one direction? So if you have oval filament, is it going to be accurate? Because you're really worried about cross-sectional area rather than just diameter. I can tell it goes from 3 directions. Okay. So a really fancy run out sensor with some automatic flow adjustment. It cannot measure the width of fully transparent filaments. That makes sense, but can still measure movement. Interesting. Interesting and cool. Probably a minimal impact there, Troy. Probably a minimal improvement. Filament manufacturing is very good. Well, when you buy a quality filament anyway. Okay, I think that's probably good. We spent almost 3 hours doing a nothing fix on the Core 1 and then just talking about projects, so that's pretty good. If folks think of anything I should add to this, either leave it in the comment after this goes stops being live, or send me a DM or post in the Poke Steve channel. A reminder, if nobody saw it, we'll probably be covering this directly tomorrow, but there is a hold on, there is a thread in the general chat for the event where I took a bunch of pictures at the event. So all 2026 projects, right? Well, at least starting in 2026. I've got stuff here that would take me well into 2027. And who knows what else is coming along. There's lots of unknown projects right now. So it is almost May. It's ridiculous. And there will be, I mean, I'm going to miss 2 weeks coming up. So think this Vertigo build, figure it's at least 8 streams. At least. And that's going to be interrupted by 2 streams I'm going to miss because of being in Japan. So we're going to be building the Vertigo printer well into July. And that's actually well into August. I'll probably be finishing the Vertigo in August. So that's a little interesting to think about the way we do things here, but that's how it is. Have some goodies for Vice. Nice. Bay Area Maker Faire is the same weekend as 3D Printopia. So I'm going to be missing Bay Area Maker Faire, but I will be at Orange County Maker Faire. So, oh, Jabberwocky, I think they've done a lot of work on that. That is a good call, though, because I do want to cover, I wouldn't mind covering some of the Jabberwocky toolhead and Box Turtle updates probably makes sense to go along with that, maybe kind of along with the snapping turtle. We'll see. I'm taking the grandkids to Banff. Awesome. So I do have the Jabberwocky. I wasn't super pleased with it, but I do know that the creator had done a lot of work on that, kind of based on feedback that came up about in that stream. And I know that there's a lot of updates to the Box Turtle that are coming. So that may be on the plate to play with. The Box Turtle has been fantastic for me. I've printed many things that I needed to do in ABS multicolor on that. So going to play with the resin for the first time. Fun. So Okay, I think with that, we're going to call it. Thank you very much for being here. Glad to be back. I'm glad to have the rush of events over, so now I can kind of go at a more reasonable pace. Having everything printed for the Vertigo printer is going to make the next several months a lot easier. So having that prep up front, it'll be good. So anyway, see you folks tomorrow. Thanks for being members, and have a good rest of your day and enjoy the build. Bye.